Hey Tuckle, it's Shiipty, and welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you are new. If you are new, hi, my name is Alyssa, also known as Shiipty, and today I just wanted to hop in here to a really quick video and share with you guys my newest comfort family. I created this family on a whim and decided to give them such a detailed background that I couldn't help myself when they became my favorite. And so right here we have my sim, Matt Valentine. Matt's name actually comes from the inspiration of the band Bullet for My Valentine. I was really big into them in high school, and the lead singer's name was also Matt, and so I kind of put the band's name and the lead singer's name together and made Matt Valentine. And the little girl that he's holding right here that has a little bit of a sneaky situation is his daughter, Sophia Valentine. Now, Matt's life did not always used to look like this. Matt actually used to have a everyday schedule where he would go into work and he would provide for his family. But unfortunately, something happened to where Matt was unable to do that. Matt used to work full-time at a tattoo shop where he had been for quite a few years. Matt was a very skilled tattoo artist, and he really loved being able to give people their permanent ink. But unfortunately, Matt also has a secondary hobby, and that is motorcycles. And he actually was out one day riding his motorcycle. It was this Harley here specifically. His wife was not with him at this time, but he was just out by himself, you know, just making a quick run to the store. And unfortunately, someone actually ran right into him, causing him to have an accident. Now, Matt's wife Karen is just very thankful that he was okay and he only came out with an injured finger and a scratch, but still she knows how badly this accident has devastated Matt and what he does with his life moving forward. And so Matt had to resign from his position at the tattoo shop because he just wasn't able to hold a steady hand anymore. And you guys know that with tattoos there are very precise details, and he just couldn't pride himself in doing that and offering tattoos at such a low quality rate. And so he decided to resign from his position. But with that, his wife Karen, who is also just now getting home, she's so exhausted from her shift at the hospital. But with those decisions, Karen had to make the choice to become the breadwinner of the family. And so she was originally in nursing school, and the deal that they had was that Matt would come home occasionally from the shop to let her go to class, and he would sit with the kids, and then once she was done, he would be able to go back to work, or he would just be done for the day. And so Karen has had to put her nursing school on hold, and she is back at her job at the hospital as a nursing assistant. For those of you who don't know, I actually used to be a nursing assistant, and oh my gosh, it just makes all the sense that she's so exhausted right now because that job is so backbreaking. It's very rewarding, but it will definitely put some strain on you. And so Karen is pretty exhausted from her shift, and she doesn't really get to see her kids as much anymore. She loved to be home with her kids and spend time with them. So this weekend, I do think that I'm going to try to get them involved in something, whether that just be go to the park or do a fun activity here at the house. So between Karen and Matt, they have 3 children together, and little Sophia, you guys already met her, she is the cutest. But then we also have the twins, who are Mariana and her brother Tony. Now, oh my gosh, poor Tony, he actually came home today with a black eye. His mom has not seen it yet because Tony has recently been getting into a lot of difficult situations at school. He's been pretty rebellious lately, and I do think that the parents are going to have to sit down and have a talk with him. But the battle scar he acquired today is actually from defending his sister, Mariana. Mariana is probably the one kid I know with the biggest personality and the biggest imagination. All she ever wants to do is talk about fairies, make-believe, and her little doll scenarios that she has at home. She kind of reminds me of myself, and I think it's really, really cute when kids have imaginations like this. But Mariana, you know, when she's on the playground, sometimes she likes to pretend that she's a fairy, and she will fly around and pretend that she's making potions and everything and elixirs, and the kids at school will occasionally tease her for this. And so at school today, Mariana was doing just that, and her brother had noticed that some boys were making fun of her and teasing her, and he decided to stand up to them. And when he did that, a fight broke out, and that is exactly how he received his black eye. Now, he is a little angry. This is from a moodlet that I cheated, but I'm gonna go ahead and remove that because I do feel like, you know, he's probably calmed down at this point. He came home, took a nap, he's probably feeling a little bit better. But yeah, he's more than likely gonna have to avoid his mom because she's gonna be so upset. Normally the school would call about this kind of thing, but they actually did not see the kids fight, and so that is why Tony's parents haven't said anything to him. But oh my gosh, it looks as though he lost a tooth as well. Tony, oh my my gosh, my poor baby. This is literally the sweetest thing. I love how Karen got home and then Matt was like, you know what, I'll come down here and lay with you too, babe. He's not even tired. He was just laying next to her, and that's really, really adorable. But now that Karen has had a little bit of sleep, she is up and she is chatting with her baby Sophia and hanging out with her kids for the rest of the evening because she is actually off tomorrow. But we can see here that Karen actually has a slight discontent, and it says Karen ponders how her partner is feeling, giving that romantic satisfaction may be different between partners. And I do feel like, you know, after his accident, maybe things were a little bit difficult between the two of them, and he probably started to feel as though he was a failure as a husband because he couldn't necessarily provide for Karen in the way that he was prior, and then also not being able to provide the things that he used to for his kids. And I also feel like him not being home all the time, he doesn't really know how to handle every single situation, just like Karen would. And so it's just been really difficult adjusting. But we can see here, oh my gosh, oh, he's feeling it too. And then he's also feeling angry. After his accident, he did start to deal with some really bad, oh no, Tony, it's okay, baby. He's like, oh my God, Dad, I'm so sorry. And Tony probably wants to go to his room now. I imagine that his dad saw the black eye and he probably talked to him about it, found out that he was actually defending his sister, and he's like, oh no, you know, I'm just glad that you stuck up for her. Please don't do it again because your mom will be so livid. Now head upstairs before she sees you. And so he's going back upstairs. But yeah, I don't think that he's going to say anything to Karen yet. But as I was saying, he did actually start to develop a little bit of, you know, some outburst every now and then, and I do think that comes from the tension of him having struggles with his job. Looking at this home, we can see that there are still some boxes and the family is still getting, you know, adjusted and moved in here. And this actually came as inspiration from my wonderful friend over on Tumblr, Neighborhood Stories. If you guys enjoy cozy gameplay and aesthetic photos, definitely go check out my friend Neighborhood Stories over on Tumblr. She's inspired me so much when it comes to my photos and how to really just take all the time when I'm editing them, and so I'm super thankful for all of her help and all of her guidance. So thank you so much, Neighborhood Stories, and please guys, if you do, go check her out and let her know I sent you. So I decided to go ahead and give Karen an alarm clock here. Sis is floating a little bit, but you know, we'll ignore that. And it looks as though Matt just finished feeding Sophia. I guess he wanted to take over for Karen. He probably noticed that she was still tired, and he was like, oh no, baby, I got it. You just sit there, you relax. Why don't you go upstairs and say hi to Tony and, you know, Mariana? But Tony is asleep, so I think that she'll probably notice that when she comes up here. So I'm gonna have her come venture up. Maybe she just wants to check on Tony, land eyes on him, and just make sure that he's home, he's safe, and he's okay. I'm sure she knows that already because Matt obviously would let her know if something like that happened. But yeah, she's gonna go upstairs and check on him, and I'm also gonna get Mariana to ask the dog to go potty. Oh look, she had a really, see guys, I told you, some kids made fun of her, and I do feel like she's struggling a lot to make friends. It says one less friend. Who needs all those friends? Friendship is overrated. I have some plans for Mariana. She doesn't know, but I am very well aware of the fact that there are going to be some neighbors moving in next door, and there's also going to be another kid who is really into make-believe, maybe dragons and stuff like that, but it's sort of the same thing, right? But I'm gonna have her come over here. I was trying to see if, yeah, she can tuck him in, and she's going to tuck him into bed, but I feel like she notices when she leans in that he has a little bit of a black eye, and she's like, oh, I can't say anything right now, but I'll ask him later. And she hears Mariana crying next door. Maybe she didn't see her when she came upstairs because Mariana was in the kitchen or something. And she is going to just ask Mariana what's wrong. Are you okay? What happened at school today? And hopefully she's willing to open up about it and discuss that with her mom. So we're gonna discuss interest with our daughter, and she's just like, honey, what happened today at school? And she's like, oh, it's nothing, Mom, you know, I don't want to talk about it. And she's like, come on, are you afraid to open up to your mom? And she's like, no, Mom, I just don't want to make you upset. I know how you can be. But we are going to try and cheer her up. And she's like, well, baby, if you don't want to talk about it, that's fine. But whatever happened at school today, just let it roll off your back now. You're home where we love you and we're happy to have you here with us. And so don't let that bother you anymore. But if you want to talk about it, we can talk about it later. She's like, whenever you're comfortable, okay? And oh my gosh, Tony joins us. He's like, Mom, I heard you next door. And so we are going to hug him lovingly. But I do feel like she is going to talk to her son, and she's going to have deep thoughts and just say, like, what happened to your eye? I see that you have a black eye. Did you get into a fight at school? And he says, yeah, Mom, I actually got into a fight, but I was only sticking up for Mariana. There was people making fun of her, and I couldn't stand it. I had to say something. And Karen says, well, baby, I'm glad that you stuck up for your sister, but next time, let's just keep it from resulting into violence. And I feel like in Tony's mind, he never planned for that. He never planned to start a fight. He really just wanted to tell people to leave his sister alone, but it came down to that. And so she is just letting him know, I just don't want you to get in trouble, because if you get in trouble, then I have to ground you. And he's like, well, Mom, don't ground me for this, please. I was only looking out for my sister. You know that. I don't ever like to fight, and please, Mom, just don't ground me. And Karen will let this one slide this one time just because he was sticking up for his sister. She does not condone violence, but she can understand the situation because, I'm sure like every kid or everyone at some point has been in something very similar when sticking up to someone. The kids ate earlier, and Matt is just in here making him and his wife Karen a quick snack. She notices that he's in here making her favorite, which is peanut butter and jelly. He buys this very organic and natural jelly from the farmer's market, and she's like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you made my favorite snack. And so she's going to grab one of these sandwiches with him and hopefully join him here at the table, and the two of them can just chat about their day and everything. So I do feel like she's going to gossip about the family drama and just say, did you hear that Tony got into a fight? And Matt's like, yeah, he told me about it. I didn't want to tell you because I didn't want to upset you. I know that you're really against him getting into fights in school or just the kids in general, and so I wanted to keep that away from you. I didn't want you to be upset. I know today's been a hard day. And she's like, I understand, honey, but can you please tell me when stuff like that happens? And he's like, okay, of course, I will definitely tell you next time. And oh my gosh, what's he begging for? Is he begging for... He is the cutest. Oh, he wants his dad to spray the monsters under the bed. That's so sweet. Oh, we can definitely do that for you. And so he just informs his son that he'll come spray the monsters under the bed after he's done eating and just to wait up for him. But I think it's adorable how he asked, because Tony recently, as I mentioned, has been going through a little bit of an outburst. He hasn't really been the sweet kid that he was before. He's been a little rebellious, and the family has had a very difficult time with that, and they've been really waiting for him just to come back around. But it goes as far as when they would go to the pool together, Tony would be like, oh, I don't want my goggles, I'm too big for that, or I'm too grown for that, and that kind of thing. Oh my gosh, he's still freaking out. We have to come up here and help him. Let's go spray the monsters. But I do feel like it warms their heart a little bit to know that he still secretly is a kid, even though we know physically he's a child. Tony, as much as you want to grow up, I know that you still need your mom and dad. And so Matt's going to come in here and he is going to spray the monsters under the bed. This is some kind of repellent that, him and Karen have made. It really is just water in a bottle with some lavender, but the kids think it works. And so he's like, I sprayed the monsters under the bed. You can go ahead and hop on in, kid. And so he's like, oh my God, thank you, Dad. He's like, I feel like I heard something under there. And so I was a little scared. And he's like, well, it's okay now, kiddo. You can go ahead and hop in bed. And so he hops right underneath his covers, and Matt goes ahead and tucks in Tony. And hopefully this will help him get some actual good quality sleep tonight. So it's the next day, and Matt is out here on a jog with the family dog. This is Bandit. Bandit is a dog that they rescued not too long ago. He's actually a pit bull. He's so adorable. I've always wanted to rescue a pit bull, but I want to rescue when I don't have any other dogs in the house. But yeah, I've always wanted to adopt a pit bull. I just love their big chunky heads. I think they're so cute, and the rep that they have is just so unfortunate because they're such big goofballs and sweeties. But Bandit is kind of like that reputation. He is just a big, clumsy, sweet dog, and he's very good with the kid, and he was the perfect addition to the family. But yeah, Matt's out here on a little jog this morning. I think that the good thing about him not working anymore is that he has all of this free time to wake up and have the energy to go and jog. And this is something that really has been helping with him, clearing his mind and everything. But he's going to head home shortly and make some breakfast for the kids. He always does this on Saturdays. It seems as though Tony is having a freak out moment though, because he's like, I don't know what Dad did, but that spray, it's not working. And so he's gonna run downstairs and grab his mom. Poor Mariana, I guess if she was just ready to eat something, she probably, oh my gosh, we left this out last night, you know, she probably ate some of this. Oh, it was definitely probably bad, but I'm gonna have her clean that up as well. Look at her little pajamas. Isn't she the cutest? I absolutely love Mariana, and I really considered playing with her after she grew up, so I might have to do that. But we should be just about done with our jog. I know this is a little contradicting, but he has the lazy treat and he's out here jogging. Yes, I know. So he actually is feeling excruciatingly fatigued. Lazy Sims hate activity. Even when picking up the remote results in overexertion. Now, I have said this before, but I feel like the Sims traits are very, very much overkill in The Sims 4. Like, they're just too extreme sometimes. Like the socially awkward one, it just does too much. It's not that necessary. So it's unfortunate that, you know, they're this intense, but I imagine that Matt being, you know, a little lazy, maybe he's just a little unmotivated every now and then, but not to the point where he's not going to go out and take a jog in the morning. So yeah, we'll ignore that. He should be just about done anyway. Oh, did he step in that? Oh, he didn't. Okay, good. But yeah, they're back home now and the family is up. And so I do think that we're going to get Matt to start on some breakfast. He needs a shower, but we can do that after. We're going to go to the cookbook, go to Granny's recipes, and go to breakfast. And we have some really cute options here. We can make toast with jam, some cereal. We could also make an acai bowl. And we also have the option of just like the family breakfast cereal, which I think is super, super cute. Or we could make breakfast pancakes or strawberry pancakes or chocolate chip. There's so many options. Something about these breakfast pancakes is pulling me all the way in. It just really looks adorable and creative. And so I'm gonna have Matt prep this. I probably only needed to make a family size because there really are just 4 adult or 4 bodies that are gonna be eating this type of breakfast. The baby obviously still gets a bottle, but he is just getting started on some breakfast. I hope that the kids are still hungry. We already know that Mariana isn't, so this might be a little bit of a wasted effort, but everyone else can eat the breakfast. I do think that I'm going to help Mariana take care of some of her needs. You know, fairy playing, she loves it, and it usually comes first for everything else, but she needs to get herself together because Matt and Karen actually planned on getting the kids a swimming pool, and so we're going to be doing that today. As you guys can see in the backyard here, if we take a look, the previous owners of this home actually had a pool back here, and the kids noticed that when we moved in, and so they were like, can we get one? Can we get one? And Matt and Karen were like, yeah, of course, let's get the kids a pool. And so they are going to be getting that today and installing it, and hopefully the kids can have some nice quality fun outside. But Dad just finished breakfast, and so I do feel like Tony hears it. He's like, hey guys, pancakes are done. Tony's gonna come in here and grab himself a serving because, oh my gosh, could you resist this? I couldn't. It looks so good and so fun. And as a kid, I would love just little things like this. And so yeah, he's gonna grab that and he's gonna have a seat with his dad. Now, Tony does have a little bit of a loose tooth. I do feel as though the fight yesterday probably did not help any of this. And so he's a little uncomfortable, but Tony is way different from his sister. And so he's gonna wiggle that tooth. He's gonna start messing with it. And his dad's like, I could pull it out for you, that kind of thing. But Tony's like, nah, Dad, I got it. He's like, are you sure you don't want me to pull it out? He's like, no, Dad, that might hurt. I'm tough, but that's really gonna hurt. But you know, I got into that fight at school, so this is probably why it's a little loose. Please don't tell Mom, she's gonna make me go to the dentist. And he's like, well, the dentist could fix it. The dentist could help you get it out. You don't have to wiggle it out on your own. And I feel like Tony's like, no, I don't want to go to the dentist. I can get this out myself. And so, guys, I feel like Tony's going to be wiggling this tooth all day. You can see here a wiggle tooth. Tony couldn't help it. A wobbly tooth must be investigated. But since Mariana has already had breakfast, I am going to have her come in here and check on her little sister. This is her best friend, and since her mom is leaving her in here while she goes and gets ready, Mariana is going to take this time to come and watch Sophia. She may even play with Sophia and play peekaboo. She's really looking forward to the day that Sophia grows up and the two of them can play together because she just has always really wanted a little sister. And look at how cute she is. She's so dang cute. I can't stand it. But look at this. This reminds me so much of how I was with my little sister. My mom would walk away and I would go over and just take full advantage of having just bonding time with her. And I love how she's trying to play with her. She's like, look at this ring. You see this? What shape is this? and then we're also going to entertain her. We got a milestone. She's been unlocking these things like crazy, but she actually unlocked the grab milestone. With all her might, Sophia managed to pick up and grab onto something for the first time. Continue to play with toys to strengthen fine motor development. Oh, she's been doing so well. Let's actually go here and see what she's unlocked recently. Now she has some good relationships forming, which we love, but coming into her simology, we can see that she's unlocked the grab milestone, the reach milestone. She's had her first blowout, and she understands that the family adopted a pet. Of course, she was born. And then for social, we've learned to babble, laugh, coo, and smile. And we actually just unlocked a sentiment with Mariana, so I'd love to take a look at that. These are always my favorite. And it says growing closer from quality time. Oh, that's so cute. That's so cute. I feel like Mariana's like, when you get big, I'm gonna tell you all about fairies. We can play fairies together. Isn't that gonna be so cool? And I feel like Sophia's just over here listening to the voice that's so familiar to her. She has no idea what she's saying, but it's giving her such comfort. And also, she's a little sad because she's sleepy. The Karen just finished eating breakfast, and so I'm gonna have her come over and feed Bandit. And then with Matt going downstairs, we'll go ahead and get the baby put up in the crib because she's a little sleepy. She's right around time for her nap. This is perfect. And then the family's gonna get to putting out the pool in the backyard. So the kids were able to help their parents get the pool set up, and guys, I am so excited about this. Now, the only way I was able to get the kids in here was through this ladder here, but this is what we have going on, and I'm actually so excited to play with this. So I'm gonna have Mariana splash her brother Tony. She's just gonna be like, hey, look, watch this, and oh my gosh, Dad's joining us. And I think that Karen is on her way out here. I'm gonna have her jump into the water as well and swim around and probably lay out for a little bit of a tan. This is the perfect way to enjoy a summer afternoon, and I'm so excited about the family having the pool up. But guys, I am gonna wrap up the video right here. It was supposed to be short. I don't know if I'll have this family back here on the YouTube channel because they are a little bit more of like a personal time for me. You might see updates on them over on my Tumblr, so if you want to see photos of them, definitely keep posted on there because I may share them over there. But I'm gonna enjoy the rest of their pool afternoon with them, and yeah, I will see you all next time. Bye guys.